Welcome on out to Mulcahy Stadium here in Anchorage, Alaska. You are listening to the ABL Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. It's Kev Squared right now over the airwaves today. I'm Kevin Peel, joined alongside me by my guest.
Well, my name's Kevin Christopher. I'm Pete's son, the guy who runs this whole show, but Kyle spent the day with his family, so Kevin was gracious enough to let me come on and maybe call some home runs today.
It was an easy decision for me to choose you, Kevin, to come along. You've seen a lot of home run derbies in your day, but this one maybe a little with all the lack of home runs that we've seen throughout league play so far, but we're going to have to see some winner.
Definitely changed up. They've gone on the same lines as the home run derby in the major leagues this year, doing timed rounds. So I think that'll help increase the home runs, but I think it all depends on what balls they're using.
Absolutely. And do you like that format of the timed rounds instead of the outs rounds?
I think it's more action for the people because in the rhythm where they take like 5-6 pitches and people are just sitting there going, well, I came to see home runs. And I think it gives the batters more opportunities to hit home runs because they don't have to worry about, having that perfect swing. So it's more of because once you get in a rhythm, you get the same swing, you can rattle off about 5 or 6 in a row. So I think it's going to turn out good.
And Kevin is a home runs in his day, so I'm sure he'll provide some insight to us as we go along. So stay tuned. You are listening to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. Welcome back. You turned in to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. I'm Kevin Peel. Alongside me by my partner today, Kevin Christopher. First time we're seeing a new format in this Home Run Derby, the 3-minute time round with the 30-second timeout, kind of like how the MLB format did this year. They're making the switch to that this year, so that will provide some different action for you if you've ever seen the ABL Home Run Derby here. We're still waiting for the lineup, so we do know 10 of the 12 participants for sure. The Gold Panthers still working on their 2 participants, but we will have from the Peninsula Oilers, Ted Boeke and Jordan Crone. From the Anchorage Bucks, Stefan Troskler and Dylan Butler. From the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, Gunnar Troutwine and Joe Wainhouse. From the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, Caleb Potter and Andrew Mogg. And from the Matsuorio and Hunter Simmons. The home run leader for this year is in this contest, Ted Boeke, who is coming in with 3 home runs on the ABL season. So it's going to be fun to see how some of these home run leaders like Troskler and Boeke match up with those who have a lot of power, like Joe Wainhouse, who only has 1 home run. Also Jordan Crone, the interesting story behind him from the Oilers. We'll get into that. He's a pitcher, but has a lot of power, and he's going to get a chance to swing the bat to go yard today.
Definitely, and never underestimate pitchers because a lot of these guys used to be two-way players. Even our own pitcher on the Nats was Corbin Martin. I do believe he played quarterback in high school and was a two-way player going into Texas A&M.
So it's going to be a lot of fun to see who will be where and how it all shapes out for you. But as we continue to set up, we'll take another short break and let you know what the order is when we come back. You're listening to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. Just got our final two participants who will be playing from the Gold Panners, representing the Gold Panners, that is. We'll have Rene Martinez, the hot-hitting Rene Martinez, high-average guy, who will be hitting. We'll get to see his power today, and also Andrew Carrillo. So it's going to be fun to see those two added into the mix, and we have a lot of power today that are going to be going as they continue to warm up out there.
Well, you can't let the stats fool you. Some of these guys can change up their approach and hit balls very far. I mean, take Ichiro Suzuki, guy who's probably hit 8 home runs a season in his career. He drops bombs at BP.
Mm-hmm.
So guys can change up their approach and really hit the ball far. What they want to practice in BP and then what they want to do at the Home Run Derby.
Very good. And we will let you listen to the announcements here, so stay tuned. You're listening to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby.
We're going to get going here in just a few minutes. We're going to explain the rules to the fans here real quick. We've explained it to the players. It's going to be very similar to the Major League Baseball All-Star game this year at the Home Run Derby. The first round, every player is going to get 3 minutes to hit. They're going to hit 3 minutes, hit as many out as they possibly can. During that time, they'll get the opportunity to use a 30-second timeout at their discretion. After the first round and everybody hits for 3 minutes, the top 4 are going to move to the second round. They're going to get paired up 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3. Once again, they're going to have 3 minutes in that round and can utilize another 30-second timeout. Once that's done, the 2 finalists will make it to the final round. It will be very similar to that as well. Also get 3 minutes and again a 30-second timeout to utilize for that final round. The winner will be the hitter that hits the most home runs out on the day. So before we get started here, we're going to introduce the Home Run Derby participants this year. We'll introduce them in the order that they're going to hit today. Starting off with Joe Wainhouse, who will be wearing number 18, representing Ole Miss and the Glacier Pirates. Batting second today will be Ted Beauchamp, wearing number 6 from Royal Maryland University, representing the Peninsula Oilers. Batting third will be Matt Diorio, wearing representing the Miners. Batting fourth, Dylan Butler, number 7 from Louisiana Lafayette, representing the Bucks. And his fifth today will be Boone, number 14 from Virginia Tech, representing the Chuyak Eagle River Chinooks. And in sixth, Jordan Cron, number 1 from UC Riverside, representing the Oilers. Batting seventh will be Gunnar Troutwine, wearing number 17 out of Wichita State University, representing the Glacier Pilots. Hitting eighth will be Stephen Trostler, number 8 in Lafayette and representing the Bucks. Batting ninth will be Renee Martinez, number 11 out of University of Oklahoma, representing the Fairbanks Gold Panthers. Hitting 10th will be Caleb Potter, number 15 from West Virginia, representing the Chinooks. Batting 11th, Hunter Simmons, number 13 from the University of Utah, representing the Matsu Miners. And batting 12th will be Andrew Carrillo, number 12 from Chico State, also representing the Fairbanks Gold Panthers. All right, folks, we're going to get the pitchers warmed up here, and we're going to get underway, starting off with Joe Wainhouse from the Glacier Pilots. Once again, a big hand for all the Home Run Derby participants today.
There you have it, folks. Former Glacier Pilots General Manager John Dyson there giving you the scoop on what is happening. So we'll give you the order once again here so that you can know. It will be Joe Wainhouse from the Glacier Pilots going first. Second will be home run leader in the league, Ted Beauchamp from the Oilers. Batting third will be Matt Diorio from the Matsu Miners. Batting fourth will be Dylan Butler from the Anchorage Bucks. Batting fifth will be the Chuyak Eagle River Chinooks. Batting sixth from the Oilers will be Jordan Crone, the pitcher, who's coming in with a lot of pop to see if he can win this contest. Batting seventh will be Gunnar Troutwine from the Glacier Pilots. Batting eighth will be Stephen Trostler from the Anchorage Bucks. Batting ninth will be, taking a look here to make sure we get that one right. It will be Renee Martinez from the Gold Panthers of Fairbanks. Then batting 10th from the Chuyak Eagle River Chinooks will be Caleb Potter. Batting 11th will be Hunter Simmons from the Matsu Miners. And batting 12th will be Andrew Carrillo from the Gold Panthers. That's Joe Wainhouse taking some BP here. Great event.
Definitely not a lefty's park, but if you have enough power, like it looks like Joe is definitely getting some oomph into his swing, you can put the ball over, but the wind definitely carries to left field at Mulcahy.
And he already has one here on the board as the 3-minute round has started for Joe Wainhouse. This one hit high towards center, but going to be a pop out. And I guess that's the surprising thing so far, Kevin, that we really haven't seen any home runs, at least when the minors have been here in this park. J.J. Hancock getting close down that left field line, but no ones that we've seen out. This one hit pretty well.
This one's going to get
up, and it is gone. So number 2 for Joe Wainhouse.
Definitely better hitting a line than get it up in the air, going out to right field.
That one's gone as well. Joe Wainhouse warming up here. That one down the right field line. That one going to be just a little bit short. As Joe Wainhouse, it looks like going to take his time out, but so far with 3 big jacks and really kind of defying your theory, the ball travels to left, but he's been able to get 3 so far in this opening round.
Well, the wind definitely, each stadium has its own special little alley. If you take Herman Brothers, for example, on a windy day, right field is definitely where you want to be hitting it. But if you're powerful enough, you can hit the ball anywhere you want.
So Joan Way start here for the Glacier Pilots. His 30-second timeout just about up, and he will resume play. We thank you for joining us here for the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. We're in contestant number 1 of 12 in this first round. Wainhouse hits this one pretty well towards left center field. And that one off the wall, though, close for Wainhouse. That one hit pretty well. We'll see if that one has a shot, and it is over the fence. Number 4 for Joe Wainhouse.
Gotta love when guys can hit opposite field home runs because that shows real power. Laying back on the ball, letting it travel, and then unleashing.
Out of Ole Miss is Joe Wainhouse, the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, one of the representatives. This one hit well towards right field over that Red Robin sign, and it will clear. Number 5 for Joe Wainhouse.
Like I said, these guys stop worrying about picking the right pitches and just start swinging. And then once they get in a rhythm, people get excited.
Top that one a bit. Line high towards center, but that is going to land short. One down the right field line and short as well. Time starting to run a little low here for Joe Wainhouse, but he does have 5 on the board. That one going to go foul. That's a big one down that right field line over the safe and sound sign and just short. So he's still at 5.
It's fun seeing all the kids out there trying to scramble to catch the fly balls. Reminds me of catching BP in my younger days for the minors.
Now still at 5 here. This time starting to run a little bit low, but a good, decent opening round here. Could get him into the top 4. Couple line outs here this time.
Oh, this ball might have some carry to it.
Towards that left field. Just short of the Alaska Walking Store sign out there in left center field, showing his power to the opposite field.
I wonder if he gets a free pair of shoes if he hits the sign.
So Joe Wainhouse, it was a good opening round for him. He starts off with 5. And overall, that's a good-looking performance so far. Kevin, we'll see if it's able to carry into the next round.
Definitely. I mean, you never know what happens. Some people just fall into a funk and just can't get a ball over the fence. But definitely good showing from a left hand.
All right. And so our second contestant will be Ted Boakey, and he'll be up here just a second. Your All-Star Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. Back for more first-round action here in the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. It's Ted Boakey from the Peninsula Oil Crescenta, California. He'll have 3 minutes Has a bit of a tough act to follow, though. Joe Wainhouse with 5 home runs in his at-bat. He's going to take a step back here and catch himself. He's out of Loyola Marymount, sophomore there. That one was a high pitch hit well towards left. Will it go, though? Not quite. Caught on the warning track.
But we used to have a coach from Loyola Marymount who was our pitching coach in, I do believe, 05 and 06. John Hendricks.
Ted Boki going to college there. In a little bit of trouble here early on in this one. Hasn't recorded a homer yet.
Usually it's that hard to get that first one because then you get the jitters. You're like, well, what if I don't hit one? But I think we'll start seeing some home runs roll off his bat because having played at the Oilers home field, it is a hard ballpark to hit balls out of. So salute to him for hitting 3 already.
Yeah, he's had a good campaign. That one hit pretty well. Will that carry, though? It will be just short of that Alaska Hydro Act sign out in left field. So the round continues. Still no home runs yet for Ted Boki.
Seems like he's trying to get 2 under the ball.
And he will take his time out here so far, but this is a guy speed too and offers a lot to this Oilers team. And when you add 3 home runs into the mix, he's a guy they really turn to.
Definitely, and definitely someone the scouts are watching today, as we are at the tail end of our MLB showcase with 25-plus scouts from all Major League teams showing up.
And all these players listed are going to – we're going to keep a close eye on them. The only one who's technically not an all-star, will not play in the game, is Hunter Simmons from the Miners. He is representing the Miners in the Home Run Derby here today.
Well, he found his swing as of late in the 2 games versus the Oilers, going 8 for 10, and that was a pretty solid stretch for him. Oh, we might have our first home run here by Boki. It's back.
Just short of that Carl's Jr. sign. Gave it a good ride, though. Wind kind of blowing towards that left field corner.
This
that
ball's back. It is out of here.
And there we go. Ted Boki on the board. Gets his first. Oh, feel a little better about that one. Only has 1 minute left, though. But he could have a power minute. That one hit pretty well, but I think it's going to dip foul. We'll step off for just a second here. Regather himself.
Let's see if he gets on a roll here after coming down after that first one. Some guys just can hit home runs in games and can't do it in BP. Like our last year home run leader going into the break, Cam Newell had 4 home runs with only 2 in his first round at the Home Run Derby.
Right now, Boki's still with 1. Still has a chance here, though. At least get himself to 2 or 3. Puts himself in a good spot. Right now, Joe Wainhouse with 5, the leader. Pretty well towards left center field, but that might be kind of the wrong part of the ballpark here at Mulcahy Stadium. Still 1. Time running low here for Boki.
The pitch to look for when you're trying to hit a home run is usually that middle in pitch that you can really turn on and just a solid level swing to get it out.
Under that one, he is complete for his first round. He was able to register 1 home run. A solid applause for him. One of the 2 Peninsula Oilers representatives. Not quite the round that he wanted, but he might still have a shot here in this first round.
Well, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, there's still, I believe, 10 more contestants to go. And the next one up here is our own Matt Diorio.
Matt Diorio from the Matsu Miners from the University of Central Florida. Getting a shot here. Hasn't hit any home runs yet. And I think that you and I, from watching his play all year, we're a little bit surprised about that, even though, I mean, the ball hasn't flown that well this year in general in the ABL. Still, this is a guy with a lot of power. It's kind of surprising he hasn't registered one yet.
He's the wall. I think I've seen about 2 or 3 that he has hit that just seem to miss by only a couple feet. But he definitely has the pop to put it out here. And he's definitely shown to be a key piece to this incredible season that we have had so far.
Very high average hitter, over 350 on the year so far. He's been very reliable. Maybe not as much sometimes in the big power game, but his singles and he's very good at placing the ball when he needs to.
Well, my dad's favorite saying is good pitching and timely hitting will win games. And Diore's definitely shown he has the ability to come up with those clutch hits.
So he's looking for his first. Hit it to the tough part of the ballpark that time, though. Dead center field. Right now, he's going to try and get his pole swing going here soon.
He has the ability to put over center field fence, as we saw in BP. So,
and I think maybe the most impressive thing about that round from Joe Wainhouse is realizing that he was hitting straight into the wind, essentially, to right field today.
And it didn't seem to disturb it at all.
As the skipper, Ben Taylor, throwing in batting practice, that one is crushed to the deepest part of the ballpark, though, just a little bit short. Got all the way to the warning track.
Seems like he's starting to get his swing down. It's starting to
try and straighten it out here. One came in on the hands a little bit on him. But right now, Joe Wainhouse with 5 and Ted Boki with 1. He can register a couple home runs here. Could be in good shape.
Definitely.
Joe Wainhouse might be kind of the example. This one hit pretty well. Will it go? Will it go? It will. So Matt Diorio on the board with 1. Hitting that one out towards right field. And still about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to go. He's in good shape. That one is a power shot. And it is gone. A home run.
Oh, no, just hit short. Off the top of the wall.
And we've seen that a couple times this year as his teammate Trent Thompson going to help him out, the college teammate from Central Florida and also the minors. But when we've seen a couple balls off the top of the wall in Palmer so far this year, one of them being from Tyler Boxwell of the Chinooks. Hunter Simmons, who will compete later, 11th, had one off the top of that wall. So it seemed like that home ballpark, too, in the Matsu Valley, not really wanting to surrender a lot of big shots.
Our fences used to be about 5-7 feet deeper. So it's definitely more of a pitcher's ballpark. Unless you get that wind tunnel going out to right field and then left-hand hitter's dream out there.
So Matt Diorio here hits that one deep. That is a sky shot.
That
near
ball's
that
gone.
Hit it here, Alaskan sign, and it is gone. The deepest home run we've seen.
And I think we get a third one over
did.
the tailored sign out in right.
He is starting to pull it all. That one went over one of them, the deepest one. That one's crushed towards the light pole. That will leave the yard. Matt Diorio up to 4 now. Straight into that wind.
He's showing what people like to call it light tower power.
Those were crushed. So he stands just 1 behind Joe Wainhouse right now, the current leader, who set the bar.
I think if he ties Wainhouse, he'll put himself in good position.
5's a good round.
Definitely. Into the wind. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
All right, 10 more seconds to go.
10 seconds for Matt Diorio to try and match Joe Wainhouse. Will he get the magic bomb? The skipper, Ben Taylor, might be able to get one more pitch in. That one hit well towards right. Will it go?
Back.
Just short of that safe and sound sign. Matt Diorio puts in a good performance with 4 home runs, just 1 behind Joe Wainhouse. And he stands 3 ahead of Ted Boki, in good shape, as you said, Kevin, after round 1.
Definitely. And Diorio himself reminds me of first home run champion 2 years ago, Gio Brusa, who also played for the Matsu Miners. Both had that same build. Brusa being a switch hitter, though. And Brusa wound up going in this year's 20th round, I believe.
So we will see the first Anchorage Buck representative of this home run derby. It will be Dylan Butler when we come back. Stay right with us. Dylan Butler's round is underway here as we're going to welcome in our first special guest of the day. It will be the Anchorage Bucks play-by-play Brider joining me and Kevin as Dylan Butler, a second-year returner and a second-year participant in this. Andrew, does he have good expectations to try and win this whole thing?
Absolutely, Kevin. Last summer, he didn't do too well. I think he only hit 1 or 2 home runs, but this year I've got him as my favorite to win the whole thing. And I'll tell you what, this kid can really juice some balls. He's got serious pop off the bat, and look for some deep bombs from Dylan.
And there is a favorable wind, although Kevin and I have noticed so far here at Mulcahy Stadium, that one hit pretty well towards left. Will it leave? Just out of here for Dylan Butler, so he's on the board with 1. Ted Boki, the first right-handed hitter with only 1, and right now this is a wind favoring these right-handed hitters. That's a towering shot towards the last first sign and just short off the wall.
I don't think this one's going to be short, though, Kevin. And that ball is out of here.
So Dylan Butler moves ahead of Ted Boki into third. This is a guy in Dylan Butler who had a impressive showing in the regular season. No home runs so far for him, but still showing that power. You talked about that story in Fairbanks about how he was hitting homers over that 410 sign out in dead center field in Fairbanks when you guys were up there.
That was absolutely ridiculous up there. We had the day is actually the night we got rained out, and the wind was blowing out to dead center field, and Butler hit, I think, 3 out to dead center, and then 4 or 5 more out to left, and it was just unreal how far he was hitting those balls in batting practice. And the thing that really is amazing about when he hits the ball, he can hit it far, but he hits it so high too. And even like a lot of guys you see hit it really high in the air, it doesn't go too far. Butler hits it both high and far, and it's just unbelievable the kind of power that he has.
So he's going to come out of his 32nd timeout now with 3 home runs in good position, just 2 behind the leader, Joe Wainhouse, 1 behind Matt DiOrio. But that wind still blowing towards that left field corner today. A very common wind that we've seen here at Mulcahy Stadium, hence the reason why Kevin has called this a pretty right-handed hitters friendly ballpark. Have you seen that in your experience, Andrew?
I would say so. I think, out of the 6 parks, or the 5 parks, I guess, in the ABL, this one, I believe, is the biggest overall.
It's going to be close, more of a line drive.
But, compared to, for example, in Fairbanks, it's only 315 down the left field line. Here it's 325. But, yeah, it's pretty even all around in the outfield, and the right-handed hitters have an advantage because of that wind you talked about too.
And that one's going to be close. It is over as the Bucks teammates celebrating for Dylan Butler. He's at 5, and that one's going to be close too. They're throwing their gloves up, and Dylan Butler, your new leader here in the first round, as he has now hit 6. Still some time to go. And that one hit well towards the wrong part of the ballpark, though. But Dylan Butler comes out and hits 6. A very impressive performance. What do you guys think of that one so far, Andrew and Kevin?
Well, I think those were definitely, as you were talking about, high and far. But he also got the ball to the ballpark on line drives, too, showing a lot of power.
Yeah, that was a great round by Dylan. In the lead now with 6 home runs. Obviously, I'm a little biased because I'm the team's announcer, but I'm rooting for him. He's done a good job, and he's got a good future ahead of him.
Very good. Thank you for joining us, Andrew, for Dylan Butler. When we come back, we'll have one more player, number 5 on the list coming in to this one. It will be Andrew Mogg. Stay tuned. You're listening to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. On to hitter number 5 here in the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. Thank you for joining us. Still in the first round, Andrew Mogg coming to the plate now. The bar keeps getting a little higher for him. That's Dylan Butler, his right-handed counterpart, with 6 home runs. Previous batter. Right now, 6 for Dylan Butler. 5 for Joe Wainhouse, 4 for Matt Diorio, and 1 for Ted Boki. That one's a pretty good shot, but it's going to be short of the warning track. But as we've noticed, it's kind of taken these hitters a little bit to warm up, and when they've been able to hit some big home runs.
Well, it definitely takes a lot of energy, definitely in the obliques, hit in a home run derby, because you're just turning on the ball and putting all you have into it. And that's why you see hitters near the end, they kind of get tired and worn down. But this one looks like it might be Mog's first one. It is high, it is far, and it is gone for his first home run.
Big shot there for Andrew Mogg out of Virginia Tech, the catcher. That one hit well down towards that foul pole. He's starting to get warmed up here too.
Mogg is definitely giving the minors fits.
Yeah, he did. He has been a very consistent hitter this year alongside with Cameron Baronic. Minor's been playing the Chinooks, I believe, 13 times, and we've seen good performances from Mogg and Cameron Baronic as well. Another all-star, Cameron Baronic.
Chinooks are a very good team. Their record doesn't show, but they are a very good team.
Mogg's still at 1 right now, and I think he's going to call his timeout here. His teammate going to come over and make sure he gets some Gatorade.
Get the sweat out of his eyes, make sure he can see the ball.
But still in pretty good shape. We saw Dylan Butler went into his timeout with 3 and was able to jack 3 more after that. So Andrew Mogg still with a lot of time. But right now that bar seems to be hanging around 5 or so that a contestant's going to need to get into that top 4.
Well, I think by the end of this first round, we may have ourselves a home run off, as we have had, I think, 2 of the 3 years we've done this.
The last 2 winners being Gio Brusa of the Miners. And last year, it was a Chinook, a winner. This one hit pretty well towards left center. Will it go? It will be close, but just a little bit short for Mogg. But that bat's sounding good right now, though. Lots of solid contact.
You can definitely, people tell you, off the bat, you hear that sound, that solid contact with the sweet spot of the bat, and that ball will go.
1 minute to go.
1 minute to go. Andrew Mogg still at 1 home run so far.
Ball's well hit.
But this one could go. It's deep, deep, deep left and gone over the municipal light and
And
power
then another
sign.
one over the Earhart roofing sign. And we may have another one if it stays fair.
Just short for Mogg and a little bit foul. But right now he stands at 3, 1 behind Matt Diorio, who's in 3rd place right now at this point in time. 30 seconds for Mogg, though plenty of time. He hit 2 in a very short time span, about 10 seconds or so.
And with those, Ted Boki is eliminated.
This one hit high and deep left field. Will it go off the top
It
of the
is
wall
gone.
and over for Andrew Mogg? He made that one exciting. We're seeing a lot of wall jumping. That one hit well right towards that same side, right around the Geico area, and just off. But right now he has tied Matt Diorio, right now tied for 3rd place. As Kevin just mentioned, Ted Boki officially eliminated for the Peninsula Oilers. Right now, we'll take a look quickly at our leaderboard. It is Dylan Butler right now with 6. With 5, it is Joe Wainhouse, and now with 4, both Andrew Mogg and Matt Diorio.
It's definitely going to get interesting as now we get the pitcher from the Oilers, Jordan Crone, stepping up to bat for the Oilers.
Jordan Crone, the interesting story about him is, as we mentioned, he is a pitcher, but a really cool story to see a pitcher coming out here, and he is a guy that has a lot of power. You've mentioned the two-way players, and Jordan Crone, most likely in his time, was one of those guys for sure. He'll be coming up from Cal Riverside. He's a redshirt sophomore there from Manteca, California. And he will bat. Another righty, too, which could give them a bigger advantage. Ted Boki, unfortunately, though, did not have as good of a performance as he would have liked for the Oilers, with just 1 in his first round of work, and he was eliminated. So we will come right back here in just a moment. Stay tuned. You're listening to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. So now Jordan Crone, the batter. His round has started. No home runs so far for him.
And the Peninsula have their share of local players, including a player I played against 2 years ago in Legion, Hector Rivera. But it's nice seeing the local players get on teams nowadays.
And a pitcher that can hit with power. We have seen this before in watching batting practice for the Matsu Miners. You see guys like James Harrington, you mentioned earlier Corbin Martin, guys that can really hit big flies. And James Harrington maybe leading right now, I would have to say, of all players for the Miners, leading in that category when you look at batting practice and how many home runs he's been able to hit.
It is actually tied between Harrington and Martin, as they do have a tally inside Corbin's locker on who hits the most home runs.
So Jordan Crone here hits a deep one. That's to the deepest part of the ballpark, though. Just a little bit short. So right now, still at 0. Is Jordan Crone trying to make sure an Oiler reaches the second round here. He's going to step off and take his time out. Take another look here at the standings so far. Dylan Butler from the Bucks was 6. He is the current leader with 5. Joe Wainhouse from the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, and he led off and set the bar early for that one. Dylan Butler able to succeed it, though. Tied in third place and with 4 home runs so far, Matt Diorio, and also Andrew Mogg of the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Jordan Crone's timeout almost done. A glorious day here in Anchorage, and Friday was maybe one of the worst days we've seen up here since we've been up here with the torrential rains going on, but the last 2 days have been beautiful. Miners and Oilers and Chinooks, Bucks all playing games yesterday in the Scout Showcase.
Yeah, and the weather in Alaska itself just likes to turn around whenever it feels like it, but it's nice to have a good day for this.
And Jordan Crone has his first one over that Carl's Jr. sign in left center field. He's going to give that one a charge, too. That's going to end up on the warning track. So Crone is on the board with 1. He's tied with his teammate Boki. This is a sky shot and just short. 1.5 left in his first round. He's going to have to get to at least 4 now, it looks like, all these players to get into that bid for the home run off to go into round number 2. Just 4 participants will reach round number 2 of the 12. So Jordan Crone taking a couple pitches here. Trying to find the right one. Ted Boki's teammate already eliminated. He's trying to get 3 here really quick because there's just 30 seconds left for him. But Andrew Mogg was able to put on a bit of a charge to get to 4 very late in his round. Crone unfortunately hitting him to the deep part of the ballpark at this moment, though. That one's going to be close, but just a little short.
And as I said before the game, now with the change with the time limit, taking pitches takes on a whole new meaning because you can't take too many or you lose too much time.
Still 1 for Crone as his time getting very low. But he'll have 1 more thrown to him, and that one hit
and this
well.
One might be it. It's back.
And off the top of the fence.
Gone.
And out of here. A couple that we've seen it bounce off the top of that wall. But I'll tell you, these baseballs are trying their hardest to stay in. So Jordan Crone does move ahead of his teammate, Ted Boki, but still most likely not going to make it to round number 2 here today. But a good effort, and the pitcher, Jordan Crone, coming out and having a good performance.
Well, Ted Boki will definitely be hearing about this later from Jordan Crone.
We'll take a very short break. Gunnar Troutwine coming up next for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Stay tuned. You're listening to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. So Gunnar Troutwine steps in, the second Anchorage Glacier Pilots representative. His teammate Joe Wainhouse putting up a good number in the opening batter of this derby with 5.
And Troutwine definitely taking a lot of pitches really fast. But it seems like he's starting to warm up a little bit, getting that swing going. This ball is back. but it'll be just short at the warning track.
Oh, that's a sky shot. But it looks like it's going to land right about that warning track. So he's coming close here in his first round. Troutwine out of Wichita State. Also plays in the same state. His teammate Joe Maroney comes out of Kansas University, Jayhawk.
Oh, and this ball's high, it's deep, it is far, and that ball is gone over the Earhart roofing sign.
It's an impressive shot for Troutwine.
And you may have his second here. This one's back, and gone.
Using that gentle breeze to his advantage is Troutwine. So he has 2. And still very early in the round for him. Might try and make run at Dylan Butler's number. He had 6. He currently leads. Sky shot. That one going to be a little bit short, though, of that one. So Gunnar Troutwine puts a charge into this one. Will it stay fair, though, Kev? It is just a little foul. That one went over the foul pole sign, so that one was crushed towards the football field out there. So Troutwine going to take his time out here, but so far, very impressive effort, and with how hard he's hitting the ball, maybe not indicative of how he's been able to perform on the scoreboard so far, but still in good shape here during his time out with 2.
Definitely. All those home runs and balls that didn't even make it out of there were hard hit. But, I mean, I've seen some home runs at this ballpark because I was telling Kevin earlier, farthest home run I've ever seen hit was in 2012. Steven Branca hit one over the light towers here and probably went about 500 feet in a game for a grand slam to give us the lead.
And you can guarantee that his power was noticed by the scouts there. Anyone hits a towering 500-foot home run in this league or in any league, therefore, you're going to be noticed. Troutwine still going here. He's still at 2.
Seems to hit a little bit of a slump here, getting too much on top of the ball.
1 minute to go.
He's still got 1 minute, though. He's at least got to try and get himself to 4 to put himself in good standing for a hit off here.
Definitely, and if he gets over 4, that will put Diorio and Andrew Mogg on 4th place and hoping that no one else surpasses him.
Right now hitting towards the deepest part of the ballpark. The longest one I think we've seen so far, that over that subway sign from Matt Diorio, a very impressive shot.
And this one might be just as impressive. This one is high near the light tower and gone.
So Troutwine moves to 3 now. So that one right by the flagpole.
And he's up to 4.
He still has a chance maybe to get to 5. He's at least tied Diorio and Mogg, so he's in good shape with that. We could have a long hit off here. High and deep. Is it going to go? Just short.
Oh, but this one might. It's got some carry to it. It's just short.
So Gunnar Troutwine, a little bit of a frustrated shake from him there, but a good performance for Gunnar Troutwine, the catcher out of Wichita State. Came in with no home runs, but he shows you he's got a lot of power, and I think that's the important thing that he's showing these scouts, that he can really hit the ball a long way.
And a lot of these guys are hoping to get noticed by the scouts. A lot of these players being freshmen and sophomores, ABL hoping to get themselves on the map a little bit.
So maybe the biggest power hitter in the city of Anchorage between these two teams, Stefan Trosclair, a returning guy coming up here. He is definitely an exciting player, a good story for this Anchorage Bucks team, a guy in which his career last year with the Bucks, the season ending way too early, lots of power numbers. But a guy who's come out this year in his second year with the Anchorage Bucks, and he has really thrived so far. 2 home runs and the RBI leader with 22 going into the break.
Definitely, and the Bucks have always shown that they can find good hitters with such alums as Paul Goldschmidt for the Arizona Diamondbacks, being a former Buck.
And he is definitely taking the image of guys like Paul Goldschmidt, a guy that can really hit the baseball. Bucks broadcaster Andrew Schneider going to join us once again here as Stefan Trosclair steps up to the plate. And Kevin and I were just talking, Andrew, a little bit about how much he means to this team, how good of a story it is for him to come back after getting hurt way too early last year but coming back and getting himself into great shape and another fantastic season, 2 home runs and 22 RBIs going into the break.
Yeah, like you said, it's a great story for him. Unfortunately, he got injured in only the second game last year. And it was a bad break for the Bucks because he was one of the more promising players for that team last summer. But luckily, he's able to come back this year. And like you said, he's done a great job. Leads the league in RBIs, second in home runs with 2 of them. And, I've said it a couple times on the air in my broadcast. He's probably the closest thing the Bucks have to a 5-tool guy. He can hit for power and average. He can field. He can run the bases. He can pretty much do it all. The only thing we haven't seen him do is pitch. But he had a great year at Lafayette this past year, and he's having a great summer so far with the Bucks.
And he's on the board here with 1 on a deep shot to left center field, trying to use that breeze to his advantage a little bit. Seems like that number to get to right now, still 4. 3 players tied at 4 home runs. Stephen Trostler going to take his timeout. His teammate, Dylan Butler, right now in the lead with 6. But you look at it, and Trostler is a guy that when he steps into the box always seems to have an intimidating appearance to him because he's a big guy. He hits with a lot of power, but also he gets those hits for you and gets on base even when he's not hitting the long ball.
Yeah, his best aspect, I think, is clutch right now. He's a clutch guy. He's hitting with runners in scoring position, obviously leading the league with RBIs. And, it's kind of funny. The 2 home runs that he hit this year were actually hit in the same day. It was a doubleheader against the Oilers, and he hit 1 home run in each game. And both of them were, I think one was a 2-run homer and one was a 3-run homer. And when that happened, I thought, that was kind of early in the season. I thought, wow, here we go. This is going to be a big year for him home run-wise. But he's slowed down a little bit with his power since then, but he's still got everything else going for him. He's, I think, second right now in stolen bases in the league, and he's got the RBI game going. And in the field, he's tremendous, whether it's at second or first base. He can always make plays. We've seen several plays from him this year in the field, and from second base especially, making diving stops and good throws to first. So, Steph can just do it all, and he's a good kid too. He's having a lot of fun.
And right now he's at 3. He has hit a couple bombs to left center field. This is a tower shot. Let's see if that has enough to carry. Going to get to the warning track. So Trostler's still in good shape here, still with some time. He's got 3 on the board. And that one hit well right towards that light pole. It's back, and over the fence towards the football field. So Trostler up to 4 now.
And just hit his 5th as well, tying with Joe Wainhouse.
Another guy able to get to 5 or 6. It's going to push that number higher. Those guys with 4 right now may not be in the best of shape as he hits another one over the Alaska Hydrogel sign, showing why he loves this park. This is a park that really does seem to suit his swing, Andrew.
Yeah, great round. It just ended. Tied his teammate Dylan Butler with 6, and we could be seeing an all Bucks derby here. It's going good so far for him. Another great round. We've got a few more batters to go. Good luck to them as well. But a great job by Stephen Trostler, and good luck to him the rest of the season. He's also another guy with a bright future ahead of him.
Very good, Andrew. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Kevin. Have a good rest of your broadcast. I'll talk to you later.
Well, thank you very much, and you enjoy the Anchorage Bucks. Both of them could be moving on to the second round here. Stay tuned. You are listening to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. So before batters left here in this opening round at the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby, this is Kevin Peel alongside my partner Kevin Christopher, fill-in color commentator for today. Kev squared, if you will.
And we seem to have a fan overlooking the Home Run Derby from center field right now.
That has got to be a cool view. going to be hard to hit one out of there, although we have seen some big ones today. Stefan Trosclair being one of those guys. The last batter, really impressive with 6, tying his teammate Dylan Butler. So those two are going neck and neck at it right now.
The Bucks are showing some serious power right now that the home run numbers this year in the ABL overall are not reflecting.
Batter Rene Martinez, another guy who has a lot of power for this Gold Panthers team for a long time this season. Early on was hitting over 450, and coming into those games that they played against the Miners, that number was still hovering around there. Did fall into a spell around the time when the Gold Panthers traveled down to play the Miners and the Chinooks, but still a guy that can hit for average and hit for power.
Definitely, and those are the guys that, scouts love to see. Scouts love seeing guys that can hit for average or power. When you can find a combo, definitely something special.
One of those dangerous hitters that you think of, one of the most dangerous right-handed hitters in the league. The Miners, when you look at them, they're the best team in the league, but really laden with lefties. But you start to look at the most dangerous right-handed hitters in the league, you look at names like Stefan Trosclair and Rene Martinez, who have been able to hit for average and power this year.
Well, these are the kind of guys that you don't want to go against in the bottom of the 9th inning when you're ahead. So, but they've definitely shown their force here today.
And Rene Martinez there, in the last pitch, he hit all the way to the ConocoPhillips sign in deep left center field, but it went off the wall. So right now he's still at 0 right now. Maybe having a little trouble trying to find the swing early on in this contest. But they want him to step back in there and keep on going.
Well, he didn't know he was hitting in this till about 15 minutes before we started, so maybe he needs a little bit more extra time to get warmed up, and maybe we'll start seeing some balls fly out of here.
But him and Andrew Carrillo would have been those good feel-good stories for the Panthers, not knowing they were going to be in it, and then all of a sudden, here you go, guys, go and hit.
Definitely, and the Panthers having a bit of a rough season so far, but still, they still have a lot of upside, and they have a lot of good players.
Yes, they do, and led by guys like Rene Martinez. The 4 All-Stars that you look at here, all very impressive resumes. Ryan Hinks, the pitcher from Arizona State, who I'm sure we're going to see from the AL division team out there pitching, had a fantastic performance against the Miners, pitching very long into that game. If I recall right, it was 9 innings in that 15-inning game between the Panthers and the Miners earlier on this month on July 7th, which the Miners finally prevailed 1-0, but a game which is really tough for either team to lose.
Definitely. Once you start getting deep in those games, those are the games that you kind of put everything on the line to lose, because it's definitely morale killer at the end. But great pitching in that game overall. Just Brick Pasquitz making a showing for the Miners.
Well, this one's deep, and this one could go over the Earhart roofing sign. So Martinez onto the board with 1. He's going to look to try and put a quick run into him, at least get up to that 4 number. Right now, that tie for 4th is you're going to have to get to 4 now with Dylan Butler and Stefan Trosclair at 6 and Joe Wainhouse at 5. Rene Martinez only going to be able to hit 1, but he did come close on a couple deep shots towards the left center field. So just a couple maybe bad breaks for the powerful right-handed hitter out of the Alaska Gold Panthers of Fairbanks. But we'll see if his teammate, Andrew Carrillo, later is able to provide some pop and get into this second round.
Yeah, hopefully. You can hit the ball really solid, but sometimes you just don't pull enough and don't get it over that fence.
So we'll have Caleb Potter from the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks batting now. Guy that we've seen has a lot of power as well. Hasn't reflected in the stats so far. No home runs for him. Out of West Virginia, 6'3", 210-pounder. Another one of these freshmen that you talked about, Kevin, that's trying to really get that name out here this year. And this is a guy that can definitely do that.
Definitely. Usually kids come up the first year. They usually come to the ABL, kind of get noticed, and then they go to the Cape Cod over on the East Coast their sophomore year and really get a little bit more exposure, and they hope combined it'll lead to a draft pick.
So Caleb Potter will step in, the second Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks representative. His teammate Andrew Mogg, one of the home run leaders right now, tied for 4th place. with 4 home runs, with Gunnar Troutwine and Matt DiOrio.
And even then, those 3 guys with 4 home runs right now, one person gets over that, all 3 of them are out.
So we'll see if Caleb Potter can set that number. 5 is looking like that comfortable number now. We were saying 4, but the righty's really starting to get it going here. Dylan Butler and Stefan Trostler, the examples of that so far. Still none on the board for Potter about a minute into his round.
But as his teammate showed, Andrew Mogg, who put about 3 out in about 20 seconds.
To get to that tie for 4th.
Well, we might have his first on here. It's a line drive that is gone. That ball got out of here in a hurry.
That has got to be the quickest ball to leave the yard on the day, right by that caddy sign out there in the left field, towards the left field corner.
And he just put another one out.
That is another sky shot deep to left center field towards the Miller Light sign. Going to be a little bit short. Now he's even trying to go longer, expand his horizons here, Kev.
Well, true power is how fast does the ball get out of the ballpark. And he's definitely showing it right now with some balls that get out of here quick.
And he's an interesting case for sure. A guy that comes from West Virginia and different atmosphere there for hitting home runs, a little bit different elevation there. And Morgantown can benefit at times like we see with the Colorado Rockies, but as we've seen throughout the years that even if you have a better elevation, it's still, you got to supply that raw power to get those home runs, and Caleb Potter out of West Virginia and with the Chinooks has.
Definitely. High elevation does assist, but like you said, there still has to be that base power that guys have. And I don't think high elevation really takes anything. You can't take much away from these guys.
And in talking to the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks broadcasters, Andrew Alex and Garrett Mansfield, this one's hit well towards the flagpole.
And it hits the Alaska flag.
Big shot there from Caleb Potter. He's now up to 3, closing in on trying to eliminate those with 4. Wants the ball up a little bit more. And he's might like that one. Deep left center field towards the Labor sign and just a little bit short.
1 minute to go.
Testing fate going towards dead center field there.
Definitely. I think the farthest one we've seen today was the one he just hit off that flag.
It was a big one, along with Matt DiOrio's one that cleared the subway where winners eat sign out there in deep right center. Potter's starting to run a little low on time, though, now with 3.
Oh, we might have the 4th home run here. This ball is gone.
Way out of here towards the football field. Now Potter's going to try and move to 5.
Oh,
that
this
might
ball's
do
back,
it.
back. It is gone, eliminating Matt DiOrio and his teammate Andrew Mogg.
Gunnar Troutwine. So Caleb Potter right now. Another righty that gets in. That is a moonshot. Deep left with the wind blowing in, and it's out of here. Tied for the lead with 6 now is Caleb Potter. Trying to win the Derby for the second time for the Chinooks for the second time in the past 2 years. Their representative winning last year, Jackson Kramer. That one will end up short of the wall, but now a 3-way tie for first with Caleb Potter, Dylan Butler, and Stefan Trostler. Joe Wainhouse right now in that 4th spot with 5 home runs, eliminating those 3 mentioned guys, Gunnar Troutwine, Matt DiOrio, and Andrew Mogg.
And definitely, these last 2 guys looks like the magic number's 5 if they want to stay in this.
Could have a home run off. You get to 5. But we will take a short break. When we come back, more of the first round here of the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. Stay tuned. You're listening to that right here on the Miners Radio Network. Andrew Carrillo now the batter. He will try and match that 5 number, as 4 will not be enough to move a person on to the second round. The ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. Second representative for the Alaska Gold Panthers of Fairbanks is Andrew Carrillo.
He seems to be lying the ball right now. He needs to get that under the ball and get up in that wind.
He's out of Cal State University at Chico. An infielder, just finished up his junior year there. And a very good average hitter. Another one of those guys that has power too, like Rene Martinez, but can also really pound the ball out for average.
And him being a junior definitely wants to put on a show for the Scouts.
His time a little lower than some of those, coming more from the junior college route, is Andrew Carrillo. He's right now still at 0, about a minute into his round. But as past experience has shown us, it's usually taking a little time to warm up. Caleb Potter had a very slow start, but really ended up getting going and ended up with 6.
Once you find that swing, balls start flying.
And also a different perspective. First time we've seen a lefty throw to the righty to increase the percentage numbers a little bit there. See if that has any influence in helping him get towards the second round. He's struggling here a little bit. Has hit some hard line drives towards the gaps, as that one was right there.
Well, he was in the same boat as his teammate, being notified 15 minutes before the Derby starts. So as I think before, this might take him a little bit longer than most of the other players to get going.
And he will take his 30-second timeout here. Andrew Carrillo still with 0, has a bit of work to do to try and get into that second round, but still can do it. If we recall right, Caleb Potter only had 1 going into his timeout from memory. He only had 1, was able to get 5 after that. But Carrillo, a guy that has been one of the top of those average guys as well that we've seen, especially early on in the year. Him and Rene Martinez were both really clicking on all cylinders.
Definitely, and the Panthers have shown that they can hit with the best of us. As in the first game with the Miners, they reached, I believe, 12 hits.
They did.
But he might have his first one here as this ball is back and gone over the Alaska Hydroax sign.
That was a good swing there from Carrillo. Good, pure power.
So hopefully start seeing some more home runs off the bat here after getting that first one.
He's going to have to pull off at least 4 more here in the last minute of his round. Look out above. One goes shooting up towards the press box. We're down here field level, though, with you. Bringing you the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. That's a deep shot. That could go towards the Hydroax sign again, just a little short as it falls the warning track. He's giving it his best. Another high shot. That one will land a little bit short. Just getting that swing going. Maybe a little bit too late, unfortunately, for the Gold Panthers' own third baseman, Andrew Carrillo.
With 10 seconds left, maybe he's home to put 1 more on the board.
Try and get himself to at least 2. It's a line drive shot. I'll end up a little bit short. Looks like he is going to end up tied ultimately with Ted Boki. So everyone at least has hit 1 home run so far in this contest. But we will have Hunter Simmons coming up for you from the Matsu Miners. Just 2 batters to go. The shape starting to take place as the skipper Ben Taylor here and pitch to Hunter Simmons. Stay tuned. You're listening to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. Hunter Simmons coming up now, the 11th one to bat here in this first round of the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. Hunter Simmons out of the University of Utah, playing this up in Alaska for the second time. He came up last year as well. Played on the team that finished second in the ABL, losing to the Alaska Gold Panthers in that top of the World Series.
Getting himself a little bit of a whiff there, but hopefully Hunter finds a groove. And this ball is hit very high, but I do not think it has the distance to go.
Skipper Ben Taylor trying to groove some pitches into him. That one's hit well. That is crushed, but will it have enough? It is just short by that municipal light and power sign. Still at 0 right now is Hunter Simmons. The guy that's really come on. Really should have had 2 home runs in that Kenai Peninsula Oilers game on Wednesday.
As he hit both of those into the wind, and both went off top of the wall, one coming back in and one hopping over the fence.
And the interesting thing about talking to Hunter Simmons is the first one that actually stayed in the yard he thought was gone.
Then this one might be gone. And it is over the fence, and he might have a second one if this one stays fair. It is just foul.
Crushed. They called it gone, and Hunter Simmons, one of the longest ones we've seen so far in this contest. He's already at 2, trying to get to at least 5. 4 will not be enough to move on to the second round.
And Hunter will take his timeout. Teammate LeBron will come out, give him a little refreshment, wipe off the sweat.
But even in better shape than that of the Chinooks representative, one of the 2, Caleb Potter, who was able to get to 6 and tie Dylan Butler and Stephen Trosclair, who set the bar early on in this contest.
His teammate LeBron giving him some hitting tips. Hopefully that pays off for him, and he can get 3 more here at least and get himself into a hit-off with Wayne House.
He's going to step back for a second. Is Hunter Simmons. He's got to be excited to be here and participating in this event. He's really picked it up with the bat lately. 8 of his last 10 hit really in hits.
And this one is back, just short.
Hitting it just a little bit towards that wrong part of the ballpark. He's still at 2.
He's got a minute left. Oh, and this ball's back. This ball looks like it's going to get out of here.
It will. So Hunter Simmons to 3. He'll need to at least get 2 more, and that one's crushed.
This one's back, just short.
He was trying for the fences that time. Still with time, though. He's got 3. But he's going to need 2 more. Simmons will set himself.
This ball's back, but I don't think it's got the distance.
Wind blowing in a little bit now. Somewhat hurting him.
He's got 30 seconds. Needs to
try and find a way to get 2 more. That one crushed towards left center field.
I don't think this one's got the distance, though.
Another one towards left center field. Going to have to try and pull it a little more. Hunter Simmons with 3. 10 seconds. That one
this
crushed.
ball's back.
The skipper going to have to try and get him some pitches. That one just missed. Hitting a home run for Simmons.
And this is the last pitch. Hopefully Hunter
Simmons does put up 3. It was a good effort. Finishes 1 short of Matt Diorio. No Miners going to be represented in the second round of this event, as right now the standings where they're at. 3-way tie for first with Dylan Butler and Stephen Trosclair of the Bucks. Caleb Potter also with 6 of the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. And Joe Wainhouse with the 5 that he put up first batter with that wind blowing in on him. Really setting the bar for the lefties here. He's going to have to try and carry the left-handed bats, because it looks like he might be the only lefty to make that second round.
Yep, definitely, and I think it's going to be very interesting. We came close to a 3-way tie, but Potter coming in with the 6 home runs, setting it up for 3 righties versus a lefty, and I think my favorite going into this is going to be Dylan Butler. Second time around, I think I'm going to pick him to win this.
Yeah, he is a guy that, talking to Andrew Schneider, thinks he's the most powerful guy on that team. But then you add in that power of Stephen Trosclair. So these guys are really hitting the ball well today. And we will see so far, but it seems like the finalists have been announced. Hunter Simmons was the last batter of that first round, so those moving on will be Dylan Butler, Caleb Potter, Stefan Trostler, and Joe Wainhouse. So stay tuned. We have the second round for you right here on the Miners Radio Network. There will be 2 Anchorage Bucks representatives, 1 Anchorage Glacier Pilots representative, and also 1 from the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, trying to follow in the footsteps of his teammate from last year, Jackson Kramer of the Chinooks, who ultimately won. Jackson Kramer not in the event or with the Chinooks this year, but still with a chance here to try and get another Chinooks winner. Minor will not win, so Gio Brusso, the last one to win in 2013. But both good efforts from Matt DiOrio and Hunter Simmons here today.
Definitely both hitting. DiOrio hitting the one over the subway sign and Hunter over the Teamsters local sign.
It really can't be underestimated how impressive those home runs were to right field with the wind being the way it is. Although when Hunter Simmons was batting, the winds kind of seemed to switch directions a little bit. And in fact, for Trostler, it's kind of blowing in. So something to think about here. As Stefan Trostler now up in the second round. We'll have 3-minute rounds once again, with the top 2 making the final round. Switching from the outs format this year. Stefan Trostler pops this one up.
Just trying to get back in that rhythm.
And it's got to take a little bit of time, that adjustment from the first to the second round, Kev.
Definitely, because most of these guys, you don't go up there trying to hit home runs in games. And you just want to focus on getting the ball in play. And if at some point you barrel the ball up and hit it out of the ballpark, it happens. But it's definitely a different approach to hitting.
Trostler still at 0 here, about a minute into his round. They're actually doing rock, paper, scissors to decide the order, although the order was not announced, so we'll keep letting you know as this one's back, and gone over the Earhart Roofing sign. So Trostler on the board here in the second round. It's another hard line drive towards that corner. That one will be short.
This one's back, but I don't think it's got the distance to go over the ConocoPhillips sign. It is just short.
And it seems like that ball not carrying well to the gaps at all today, down into the corners, yes, but the only real one we saw was that one to right center field by DiOrio. Otherwise, the other far bomb that we saw was from Caleb Potter, but this one is going to approach that length back towards left and gone out of here over the BP sign.
And then we got another one. This one's back.
Just off the wall.
Just off the top of that Geico sign. He's putting some good swings on the ball here. Hopefully this timeout will help him lock in and put some more balls over the fence, because everyone likes seeing home runs.
Yes, they do. Good attendance here for this one. The 2015 ABL All-Star Home Run Derby, to be followed by the ABL All-Star game coming up here at 4 p.m. in Anchorage.
which should be fun to watch as there's going to be a lot of good players in this game.
And that one reaching way low and in to get that one was impressive that he was able to scoop the ball that far, but right now still at 2. And he's struggling to find the bat here coming out of the timeout.
Looks like he's getting a little bit tired. The length of the home run derby taking a little bit of a toll on him.
And this is going to be interesting for both these Bucks representatives. This is a team in the Anchorage Bucks that's going into a huge 6-game stretch down in Kenai over the next 5 days starting tomorrow. So really they got to take off and start traveling right away. As this one hit deep towards left, towards the flagpole, and out of here. So another one for Trosclair in about the same area as his second home run was. So he's up to 3 now for the Bucks.
But that road trip will be crucial as the Bucks and the Oilers right now fighting for that first place spot to get into the playoffs. But Trosclair puts a swing on one just short of the wall.
Coming up just short. That one is a similar path as the one he just hit. That was just a little short, and that is a little bit short. So he's down to 30 seconds now. Trosclair with just 3 in this second round.
But he's starting to put some good swings on the ball. Past 4 balls, all going to the fence. And this one looks like it's got enough to get over. It's back, gone.
And it is out of here. So Trosclair does get 4. A good number, just 2 off of his first round total of 6. Not a bad bar to set, but he might have waiting to see the results of the other 3 hitters.
Definitely. Going first in the home run derby is a little bit anxious because you can never tell what the other guy's going to do behind you.
And it will be Caleb Potter batting second. That's what the rock, paper, scissors was for, to see who would go second. Caleb Potter winning that. I still think a very interesting way to try and decide who's going to go next.
Definitely a very old but very effective method.
So Caleb Potter, as we mentioned, trying to follow in the footsteps of Jackson Kramer, who won the Home Run Derby last year. Also, fun to see how he'll be able to stack up in comparison to Jackson Kramer.
Definitely. As Kramer, I do believe, was drafted this year, but he showed a lot of power last year. But it's definitely great to see these guys come out and put some good swings on the ball.
Caleb Potter designated as the number 2 seed.
And this ball is crushed just short.
Just short. He's going to see if he can get his round going a little earlier. As that one to straight center field. Not a lot of luck out there today so far.
Nope, but definitely all of us would love to see one put off that scoreboard.
So the question is, well, with all this power, we've seen these home runs, do you think we're going to see that power translate into the All-Star game itself?
Maybe. As I think that the balls are the main cause of there not being as many home runs this year, so I think it all depends on what baseballs they use.
And really, when you look at it, just unbelievably different numbers than what were expected. This one is hit well towards left and gone over the Teamsters sign. So Caleb Potter on the board with 1. And it's really hard to try and explain these numbers when you look at it, Kevin, because this year so far, only 19 home runs hit in the entire league. And then you look at 2014 last year, 154. In 2013 with 59 home runs. In 2012 with 176 in a year that was really inflated. But last year even so too, approaching that 2012 mark in which the ball was really flying.
Well, I think it comes down to the companies change up the baseballs. Sometimes they're a little bit wound tighter. This ball is lined and gone for a second home run. But like I said, I think it comes down to if the ball's wound a little bit tighter, ball flies off the bat, and then they adjust to make it a little bit looser, and then ball doesn't fly as far. And on top of that, I think this year, on top of the baseballs, the pitching in the league this year is phenomenal.
And especially we've been a testament to that here with the minors and looking at all those pitchers who have been selected for the All-Star game with Harrington, Morgan, LeBron, four of the starters getting in, Zach Warren. And also you look at the back end of the bullpen, Brick Paskowitz, who got there as a relief pitcher, but technically could be a hitter with his 370 average and also driving in over 10 runs on the year. we've seen that pitching, and we might even have our guest come on here with us, Calvin LeBrun. But this is a league that really has been pitcher dominated, and we're finally seeing that showcase this year for the pitching, with the hitting trying to catch up as well in this last couple weeks of the season. That one hit well towards left. Will it go? It is over the CBS Sports sign. He is now tied Stefan Trosclair with 4. But he just missed that time. So a little bit of tension building up here for Caleb Potter as he looks to try and get over the number originally set by Stefan Trosclair with 4.
And
Hit
he
that
might
one
do
well.
it.
Just short.
Oh, but I don't think this one's going to be short. This ball's back, gone.
It is gone on the last pitch of the at-bat over that Solston sign. Caleb Potter moves himself into a great spot with 5. He's right now over Stefan Trosclair of the Bucks. Still 2 more hitters to go. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have a special guest with us, pitcher for the Matsu Miners. We'll let you know who it is. We actually already told you who it is, but Calvin LeBrun going to join us here in just a second. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. So what actually just happened was Stefan Trosclair and Caleb Potter were facing off each other. Potter, by getting 5, eliminates Stefan Trosclair. So either Joe Wainhouse or Dylan Butler will join Potter in the final round. I'm Kevin Peel alongside my partner Kevin Christopher and also guest Calvin LeBrun. How you feeling today, Calvin?
Feeling good. It's a great event. It's great to see these guys swing the bats well. So it's a good event for everyone. It's a great time.
As Wainhouse hits this one deep towards that BB sign and over the fence. And right now, Calvin, you're going to be kind of our spokesman for the lefties, you being the left-handed pitcher, of how tough it is right now for Joe Wainhouse to try and hit these balls out to right field with the wind blowing into him.
It's my favorite thing when I'm pitching against these guys because they don't hit many homers. But, yeah, it's going to be tough for him to put a couple balls out, but he's got some good strength, so we'll see what happens.
And he did have a very good first round with 5, the last one to reach, as there were 3 representatives with 6. And Calvin, talk to us a little bit about how the All-Star performance, how it is here, if you're having a lot of fun down there on the field with all the rest of the guys.
Oh, it's a blast. Everyone's having a good time. You know, it's good to hang out with the guys from the other teams and, you know, just kind of make friends. That's what this whole summer baseball experience is about. So, yeah, this is good for everybody to get together and, you know, have fun with this home run derby and then, you know, have the all-star game at the end of the day. So it's a great time. Everybody's having a good time, you know, just joking around down there. So.
And you enjoying Alaska just like everyone else. As Wainhouse hits this one deep towards the State Farm sign and just a little bit short. So he's still at 1.
Yeah, Alaska's great. I think it's a great time here, great people. You know, you meet so many different people through the league, and yeah, it's a great time just, you know, hanging out with new guys and meeting new friends, and yeah, it's a blast.
So the timeout called by Joe Wainhouse of the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. He right now is at 1, but calling his timeout here, and that wind's still kind of blowing in, but Wainhouse there showing with that first home run that ball still can go out to right field.
Definitely, and maybe you need some hitting tips, as we saw Calvin earlier. Give me some hitting tips to Hunter during.
You want hitting tips from me? You're asking the wrong person. I went up there and I told Hunter to get under it, but, you know, that didn't work very well. So I think I'm the last person that should be giving out hitting tips.
But we've seen you in BP, Calvin, and back there in Palmer, and you got a little bit of a swing on you there.
Yeah, BT's more impressive with my bunting, I think. Not so much my swings. You know, it gets there, but, you know, more my bunting skills, I think.
Of course, it's Joe Wainhouse out back and hitting out of the timeout. Have you had a shot to hit a home run in your day here, Calvin? And
no, you know, I had a couple shots in high school, but the fence didn't want it to go over, and it hit the fence, so it rejected me.
So you got rejected by the fence in Palmer.
Yeah, you know, it happens.
Tough luck, although unfortunately a lot of your teammates have also, guys with a ton of power, also have not been able to hit over the fence. Just been kind of that year for the pitching, and you've been a big part of that with your all-star bid here. You get in, and a great record, great ERA on the year.
Yeah. It's a good time right now. It's just a good team, and I think everybody likes playing for each other. It's just a fun clubhouse to play around. So yeah, it's easy to have fun, and that's the main point of the game. So
Joe Wainhouse here trying to find the swing, still at 1 in his bid. He's going to face Dylan Butler, who could be in good shape to advance. And the thing is, if Wainhouse doesn't put up a little bit of a number here, Dylan Butler will be a little more rested going into that final round against Caleb Potter.
Definitely, and I think that could come into play.
Got one.
But that one is a deep shot over the safe and sound sign. Is safe and sound out of here. 2 gone now for Joe Wainhouse as he hits number 3. He's flirting with that foul pole, and that one just a little. Number 4.
Charging the balls.
Joe Wainhouse, a quick charge, gets to number 5, and he looks a little bit gassed. But after a timeout, Joe Wainhouse really puts a number up here with 5. Impressive. Got to be. What do you guys think, Calvin and Kevin here?
No, that was impressive. That was about 30 seconds of just home runs, and that's hard to do, especially reset and put some oomph behind it.
Yeah, he definitely started to relax after that break and started to dip his swing a little bit. That's what you need right there. I told him that before the start of it, so finally listened to me.
It's Anchorage on Anchorage here. Dylan Butler will be up to try and exceed that number put by Joe Wainhouse with 5. Stay tuned. You're listening to the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. So from Louisiana Lafayette, Dylan Butler back to his second round appearance here. He put up 6, which was tied for first after the first round. His teammate from the Anchorage Bucks, Stephen Troskler, was eliminated by Caleb Potter, though, and Joe Wainhouse putting on a show late as Butler hits a sky shot deep left center and over the Carl's Jr. sign for a home run for Dylan Butler. He's up to 1 now.
And I think we just see a number 2 getting hit. This ball's back. Ooh, off the bottom of the wall.
Tough break there for Dylan Butler. Looked like he was going to have an easy round, as you said in the break, Kevin, but Joe Wainhouse with 4 in the last minute to put that number 5 up. Going to be a tough here. Troskler had 4 in his second round bid before Caleb Potter beat him with 5.
We got LeBron here with us. LeBron actually goes to Gonzaga, which is only about an hour's drive from where I go to school. So hopefully I get to go see LeBron stuff coming here.
Yeah, bring a couple coats because it'll probably be snowing when you come.
Well, you guys start in February, March?
Yeah, February. We'll start the first week of February, and we'll be gone the whole first month just because it's so cold in Spokane. So
I wasn't going to come till May.
What's that?
I wasn't going to come till May.
Yeah, I would.
And give us a bit of a testimony of the baseball players you play in college. You start that around February, but a lot of you guys, not just from Gonzaga, guys even probably like Dylan Butler from Louisiana Lafayette, having to travel to other places to play baseball for a month. Yeah,
it's a good time. I think the first month for us is, it's tough handling school and being on the road a bunch, but it also builds camaraderie, I think, and that's a good thing for a team to start off the year. Is just hang around each other and build that kind of camaraderie because it's a long season, and it's good to have that bonding type of thing when you're flying in the airport or flying in the airplanes, being in airports for hours and hotels and that kind of stuff. So I think it's a good thing for us. I think it just helps us in the long run.
And that, when talking to Hunter Simmons, I've talked to him about this before and about that workload and all college players facing that struggle. Dylan Butler hits one out here to 2, but how do you manage that with your fall and spring schedule trying to make sure that you're able to be there and play baseball in the spring, but still trying to get your degree done on time.
Yeah, I think it's tough sometimes, but it's a good time. That's what we signed up for when we signed National Letter of Intents. I mean, you sign up to take on that workload, and it's you just got to learn the responsibility to be able to time manage different things. So yeah, it's a struggle, but it's a good time. I love it.
And Dylan Butler starting to heat up there as he hits one over the Alaska Hydro Act sign out there in left field. So he's now up to 3. He's still 2 behind Joe Wainhouse, though. He's going to have to at least tie him to give himself a shot.
He's putting some swings on the ball right now. Definitely getting under it.
Dylan Butler and Stefan Troskler are both looking fantastic in that first round, both having a bit of struggles here in the second round. But that one hit pretty high and deep towards that ConocoPhillips sign. It's going to come a little short, though. So Butler's starting to run out of time, under 30 seconds now, still at 3. He's going to have to pull off a strong 10 seconds here. Can he do it is the question. He puts a charge into that one. That will be just a little short. As Dylan Butler gave it his all, comes up a little bit short. So it will be Caleb Potter and Joe Wainhouse in the finals for the ABL Home Run Derby. What do you guys think, Calvin and Kevin?
Well, my pick was gone. I had Dylan Butler winning, but both Bucks knocked out.
Yeah, I definitely would have taken Butler in that round. I had him winning the whole thing after our 2 guys got out, so I had Butler winning the whole thing. Thanks a lot.
So we will see. It will be between Joe Wainhouse and Caleb Potter to decide who is the 2015 ABL All-Star Home Run Derby champion. Stay tuned. You're listening to that right here on the Miners Radio Network. Welcome back into the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. I'm Kevin Peel, joined alongside me by Kevin Christopher and Calvin LeBrun, Miners pitcher here. We're going to bring you the final round. It will be between Joe Wainhouse and Caleb Potter. And maybe it was a good thing I didn't make a pick because both of your picks were gone here in the second round. Kind of surprising, though, with how good Stefan Troskler and Dylan Butler were swinging in that first round and early in the second round.
Yeah, they were definitely putting some good swings together, and I definitely had Butler. Once our 2 guys went out, I had Butler winning it, and he just disappointed me very much.
Joe Wainhouse does get his first one out over that safe and sound
We
sign.
might have a second one. This ball is high. It is deep. It is gone.
Wow, tower shot from Wainhouse. That's got to be one of the highest ones we've seen today. Now 2 for him. I could tell both of you were impressed by that big shot.
I'm saying 5 home runs wins it.
Could be, but Wainhouse is flirting with number 3 here, just a little bit short.
Well, if Wainhouse wins, it will defy my righty-favored theory.
Completely. The wind blowing straight in from right
And
field.
this ball is
Stay
going
fair.
to be
Just foul down towards the visiting bullpen there.
Oh, nope, they called it fair.
Wow. Must have gone right over that foul pole. We saw Hunter Simmons hit one over the foul pole in that first round, and that ball was absolutely crushed.
2 minutes to go.
So 2 minutes to go for Wainhouse, and he already has 3 in good position. This is quote-unquote the warm-up period for him, and he's hitting the ball well.
Well, you could definitely see him kind of wearing down, but not with that swing. That ball is crushed and gone.
Number 4 for Wainhouse.
Usually you see guys get worn down near the end. They get tired, but Wainhouse is showing absolutely no signs that he is slowing down right now with 4 home runs.
Let me just say, still a big surprise as to how Joe Wainhouse hasn't hit a home run on this early year. Or actually has hit one, just one, but with the power that he's exhibiting in this home run derby, isn't that a bit surprising to you guys that he only has one?
Very surprising. I mean, the pitchers have been good in this league, but with that kind of swing and that kind of power, it's kind of shocking that he hasn't hit more than a few out of some parks in this league. So,
especially our home park here at Herman Brothers.
yeah, exactly.
And if we get a chance to talk to some of the guys from the SEC, like Texas A&M guys, we'll have to talk to them a little bit about Joe Wainhouse, who is a guy out of Mississippi, plays SEC baseball. And he comes up hacking, just missed that one. Deep drive.
He's getting really out in front of the ball. Right?
So he's at 4 still. He's out of the timeout now. Pop that one way up towards second base. That one could go, though. He gave it a charge. Maybe getting a little tired, though, as that falls short of the Red Robin sign.
You definitely see he's starting to wear down a little bit.
He's really getting as many cuts as he can in, and that is the difference. Will kind of tire yourself out quickly because you're trying to get yourself as many swings as possible. Wainhouse trying to do that here. Out of Kent, Washington is Joe Wainhouse. Did you have any experience playing against him at all, Calvin?
No, not at all. Because you said you went to Mississippi State.
Mississippi.
Okay, yeah. Never played against him at all. Never. We usually stayed close to the West Coast when we play, but we did play Arkansas this year, so we headed over there for a little bit. But no Mississippi this year.
Oh, and this ball is crushed by Wainhouse. It's gonna be his 5th.
Right by the light tower.
Gone. Oh, we may have number 6.
Will it? Over the
Gone.
trailer craft sign and gone as a collective cheer for Joe Wainhouse. His teammate Gunnar Troutwine gives him a pat on the back. 6 home runs for Joe Wainhouse, and that brings a pretty tough number for Caleb Potter. But if there's a guy who can answer it, we've seen so far, it's got to be this guy right here, the righty from Chukia.
Definitely.
Yeah, he definitely won't have the obstacle of having the wind blow in on him, so he could put up some big numbers right here, but we'll see.
So tell me, guys, can Caleb Potter come from this 6 home run deficit to come back and win?
I'll take him.
Yeah.
I'll take him putting up 7.
I like it. I like his chances.
All right, I'll stick with Wainhouse here. I'll give Wainhouse some credit here. Stick with him, but you guys are liking the righty, and I guess it is the higher percentage pick for sure. But Caleb Potter going to take a couple swings from West Virginia, and Kevin and I talked about Caleb Potter, a guy that comes from a little different background in terms of playing in West Virginia with the higher elevations. Calvin, have you experienced that at all in your playing days? Does that make it harder to pitch in those types of atmospheres?
I don't think so. I mean, you don't really think about that kind of stuff when you're pitching. It's just throwing strikes and getting guys out. I mean, it's in the back of your mind, but it's not a big thing where you're thinking about it all the time. If I'm going to leave a ball up, is the higher elevation going to slow it down, or what is it going to do? So, yeah, it's not a big issue.
Just seeing this power and how Joe Waithouse and Caleb Potter can hit, does that kind of breathe in the back of your mind out going forward that they can hit the long ball, Calvin?
Maybe a little bit. I won't think about it too much, but it scares me a little bit, considering I have to face Potter next week.
Yes, you do, and there are 2 more meetings as well with the pilots for the Miners.
Whoa, and Potter may have his first home run here. This ball is back, crushed, and gone.
So he's on the board with 1 right near that Alaska Hydro Act sign.
Oh,
that was
number
crushed.
2. That ball's gone, no doubt about it.
And this is a guy that hit the Alaska state flag in his first round. If that gives you any perspective of how towering of a shot that is.
And he's
2.
putting good swings on the ball. And this one, if it stays
stay
fair.
It is gone right near the foul pole. 3 for Caleb Potter.
Well, he's definitely showing that he can put the ball out of the ballpark, be it light tower power or line drive shots.
He's going to need 4 more to win it, as Joe Wainhouse has put up 6. Caleb Potter out of West Virginia. And talking to the Chugiak broadcasters, Andrew Alex and Garrett Mansfield, one of the guys that they talked about was David Morton, who hit a home run, but they haven't really seen a guy like Caleb Potter or Michael Staudinger hit home runs yet. So I guess that gives you a bit of the parity that has been this year in terms of the home run hitting. Guys, and even when you look at the minors, you look to guys like DiOrio and Simmons to hit the long ball. Simmons did hit 1, but Chris Hall getting the other 3-run shot and Alex Caruso. But you've seen a lot of guys like Jack Zellner who haven't been able to hit home runs yet for the Miners.
I think it's all down to, like I said, the baseballs, but I just think some guys can hit balls out in BP, but can't do it in a game, or can do it in a game, or can't hit it out in BP.
And
yeah, I think it's just the pitching here. I mean, you just don't face a guy who's going to leave a lot of pitches over the plate in this league. I think with every team, there's 4, 5, 6 guys who are just absolute dominant arms, and it's just hard to square those guys up and put one out of the ballpark.
We've talked about the ERAs for the Miners routinely throughout the year, but you look at guys from the Pilots who like Will Hibbs and also Drew Jacobs, who have sub .5 ERAs as well. I mean, it's just impressive.
Yeah, I think this year it's pretty easy to say it's a mostly pitching dominant league. I think the pitchers have really shown that they're pretty dominant in this league, and not taking any away from the hitters. I think it's just the pitchers have thrown really well for every team, and I think that you can't ignore that. And I think that factors into a lot why there aren't many home runs.
Caleb Potter loses the bat, actually. He is all the way up to 5. He hit 2 in a row. That's an unfortunate break for him, but he only needs 1 more to tie and 2 to try and win this thing. The righty trying to succeed in presence of his former teammate Jackson Kramer, who won for the Chinooks last year. He's going to need 2.
Oh, and this ball is gone.
That one's gone. He has tied Joe Wainhouse. Will we have a hit off, or will Caleb Potter be able to win it on 1 swing? Potter line drive down to about 10 to 15 seconds. Hit towards the wrong part of the ballpark. So still some time for Caleb Potter. A couple more pitches. This is the last pitch. It's hit deep towards left field. Going back. Is it just a bit short? My goodness, we have some tension here in the home run derby. Both guys with 6. So 1 round of 3 minutes, not going to be enough to decide this one, boys. And we have some extra swings.
Definitely, those last 3 home runs were gone.
Some real moonshots right there.
And so, Calvin, thank you for joining us. We look forward to talking to you during the All-Star game as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. So we'll take a short break and get the format set up, as 3 minutes, not enough here in this final round. We'll keep going. Caleb Potter and Joe Wainhouse will have a hit-off to decide the 2015 ABL Home Run Derby champion. Stay tuned. In the first year here of this new ABL Home Run Derby format, it will be 1 minute for each player to decide who wins the sudden death round. Joe Wainhouse up to bat, had 6 home runs in that final round.
Both Wainhouse and Potter showcasing the power that they have, and I think Wainhouse might have a home run here. This ball's back just short.
And this is the part where it becomes a battle of attrition. Both these players getting really tired.
And definitely you want to get going really fast, really early. And, ooh, Wainhouse puts a swing on one, puts a swing on 2.
Sky shot will have enough by the BP sign. And it's over the fence for a home run. So Joe Wainhouse on the board here. So Caleb Potter will at least have to get 2 to try and win in 1 minute's time, but Wainhouse still batting. This
I
one
think
crushed.
it's going to be 3 to win it.
Towards the BP sign.
Maybe
he puts
4.
Another one, and that one
just short
off the trailer craft sign. So now 2 for Wainhouse. About 15 seconds left for him here. He's trying to get as many cuts in as he can with that wind blowing in on him. And last pitch. So Joe Wainhouse with 2 in 1 minute. Is that a number you think Caleb Potter can achieve here?
I think Caleb can get it. He definitely showed that he can put a swing on the ball. But we'll have to wait and see if he can get started up fast enough, because Potter has shown that he takes a little bit to get going. So, but once he does, the ball's going to fly.
By the way, stay tuned. We're going to try and have a word with the Home Run Derby champion, whether it be Joe Wainhouse or Caleb Potter. Caleb Potter going to take a little time to get himself ready. Joe Wainhouse putting 2 on the board means that Potter, in that 1 minute time, if he's able to log 3, will be the Derby champion.
And then if he logs 2, we're going to have ourselves another hit-off.
Another hit-off.
Oh, and he might put himself on the board early. It still doesn't look like he's got enough, though.
Just a little bit short. Wind still blowing towards that left field corner. Hit
Ooh, this
high.
one's back.
Go?
Looks like it's going to be just short.
Just a little bit short. That one hit.
This one's got a charge in it. Gone.
Gone. Over the Carl's Jr. sign.
Just
a good
short.
line. He is lining them hard here, but he only has 1. We'll at least need to get 2 to tie Wainhouse. I want in on the hands a little bit. 30 seconds to try and log 1, maybe 2 home runs.
Oh, if this ball stays
left, it's a screamer. And
just short.
Just short. Caleb Potter here, still battling. Got on top of that one. Down to 15 seconds. Now 10
seconds left. This is going to be huge.
Just a couple pitches left for Potter to try and tie it. Gets on top of that one. This could be the last pitch.
Oh, this ball's gone.
Deep left, and it will go.
Oh, wait, we might have a home run. This ball's back.
Gone.
Just short.
Potter just short. My gracious, Caleb Potter was walking off thinking he was the champion. We will have another hit-off here in the Home Run Derby. It has been a dandy one with Caleb Potter and Joe Wainhouse battling it out. Stay tuned. There will be one more round to try and decide, will it be enough? You're listening to the 2015 ABL Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to the 2015 ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. I'm Kevin Peel alongside my partner Kevin Christopher. And we are having a fantastic final round here. Joe Wainhouse and Caleb Potter tying in regulation time in the final round. tying again in the first hit-off round as both logged 2 more, as those were not enough. So now Joe Wainhouse going to come up first with some more cuts here.
Definitely, these two are definitely putting on a show right now and definitely making this a lot more interesting. So hopefully we'll see if who's going to come out on top in this battle. Wainhouse putting some good swings on the ball, but it doesn't look like he's getting enough behind it.
It will be a cumulative total. So right now, Wainhouse with 2. That ball crushed, but it's not
foul.
going to stay fair. That one goes towards the bullpen. Joe Wainhouse, lots of power out of Kent, Washington. Didn't like that pitch. Bunted at it there.
So and you could definitely see stamina coming into play here, being able to last it out. And Wainhouse seems to be topping the ball now. Looks a little bit tired. Oh, but this one might be a home run. This ball's back.
Towards that Alaska USA
just
sign.
Short.
Off the wall it is, so it is short.
Whoa, this one's 2. High, far, deep.
Stays in
not
the yard.
Enough.
Wainhouse getting tired, trying to get 1 on the board here at least to force Caleb Potter to make 2.
This ball's hit down the line. It will be
foul.
Foul ball.
And just a little short. So Joe Wainhouse not able to log 2 in his second minute. So Caleb Potter just needing 1 to walk off with the victory.
And the Chinook fans showing their presence here right now, Kevin.
Try to give the second straight ABL All-Star Home Run Derby champion would go to the Chinooks if Caleb Potter is able to hit 1 home run in this minute. But the fatigue showing, Potter having to get 1 of those home runs in the last 10 seconds of that minute extra time. And almost had one, went off the wall on the last pitch of that sudden death. And now it will be in the hands of Caleb Potter. It's Joe Wainhouse trying to earn himself another minute of extra time. Home Run Derby that's now lasted just a little under 2 hours. A fantastic
Oh, we have a first pitch back. Not enough.
Not enough. He's going to keep swinging just to make sure.
Potter's putting some good swings on the ball, though.
He doesn't look very tired right now, does he, Kevin?
No, he does not. He looks locked in. He looks ready to go. So we'll see.
Oh, and this ball's deep, back. Left center
deep,
field.
far,
Will it go?
Just short.
Just short.
Oh, this one is going. Just
short again. Flirting with the fences, Potter. Another
this ball's a line drive shot. Gone.
A home run for Caleb Potter, who walks off with the 2015 ABL Home Run Derby champion is Caleb Potter. Fantastic performance for him as he logs 3 home runs in that 2 minutes of extra time total to defeat Joe Wainhouse, 2 straight Derby champions going to the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, and Jackson Kramer and the Chinooks fans have got to be proud right now.
Oh, definitely. And Caleb definitely proved himself to be the champion of the day. They're showing no fatigue there at the end, putting good swings on the ball all day long. Definitely deserves it, and I think the Chinooks fans are very happy.
So we're going to try and get a word with the Derby champion, Caleb Potter. Stay tuned. You're listening to the 2015 ABL Home Run Derby right here on the Miners Radio Network. Welcome back here to the conclusion of the ABL All-Star Home Run Derby here, 2015 edition. 2 straight Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks winning it. Jackson Kramer winning it last year, and now Caleb Potter out of West Virginia winning it this year. An impressive performance, Kevin.
Oh, definitely. And you could see Caleb Potter all day just putting solid wood on the ball, and all of his home runs were definitely moonshots. And definitely an impressive performance overall. And, I mean, you got to give credit to Joe Wainhouse, too, who put some good swings on the ball late in rounds, which gave him the runner-up. But, unfortunately, didn't have enough in the tank to get the championship.
And so Caleb, being a very busy man, probably didn't realize how busy he would be. But the good thing is he's not going to play in the All-Star game, so we're going to try and interview him during the All-Star game. We'd love to hear from him, talk about his experiences today, and said he is now a 2-time champion of a home run derby, also won when he was 10 years old. So really cool, really cool thing for him. It's Caleb Potter, your winner of the 2015 ABL All-Star Home Run Derby. So stay tuned. In about an hour or so, we will have the All-Star game for you right here from Mulcahy Stadium. I will be doing the play-by-play and also join with some special guests, so you won't want to miss it. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll talk to you in about an hour.